out a really loud fart? Yeah? Well, when I was 17 years old, I was on the stand at my own bail hearing for seriously hurting another girl. My sister Tony Lynn, who was 11 years older than me and 9 months pregnant at the time, and her husband Robert were sitting on the back benches, you know, the kind that echo sound really loudly? Well, Robert let out this massive ripper of a fart. It was like 13 seconds long. The whole courtroom went silent. Everyone turns to look. Without skipping a beat, my sister stands up, rubs her big pregnant belly and says, well, at this point, you just can't control it anymore. You see, my sister had this way of bringing light and laughter into any situation. But just like me, she grew up with a lot of trauma and abuse. I remember coming home after school when I was 7 years old, and my sister was supposed to be watching me and my brother, but she locked herself in the back room with a friend. Being the nosy little kids that we were, we snuck up, peeked through the gap in the door, and I didn't understand what I saw. But I saw my sister stick a needle in her arm. Ever since Tony Lynn was a teenager, she struggled with the same cycles of abuse and addictions and being in and out of jail for prostitution. Because of this, she lost her first 3 children. It wasn't until Tony Lynn met her husband and had her 4th child that she started to make steps to turn her life around, to be the best mother and wife that she could be. But you see, while Tony Lynn was making these steps to turn her life around, I was stuck in my own cycle of addictions and abuse. I felt like no matter what I did, I'd never make it anywhere, so why bother trying? This is my biggest regret. And I'm ashamed to say it. But when my sister was doing so good for so long, I was so eager to feed my own addiction that I sold crack cocaine to my sister, and I started her back on that path of self-destruction. A year later, I was house sitting for my mom on March 9th, 2016. I was woken up at 7:50 in the morning by my phone ringing. It was my mom's boyfriend. He said, something happened to your sister. What do you mean something happened to my sister? The next 2 words were words I never expected to hear. She's dead. My mind froze. I didn't know how to react. He said her heart stopped 7 times, and they pronounced her dead at the hospital 20 minutes ago. I can hear my mom bawling in the background. It's a kind of pain I've never heard in anyone's voice before. My sister died of a crystal meth overdose. The next few days were a blur of trying to be there for everybody, especially for my 2-year-old niece and my 5-year-old nephew. When they flew my sister's body back from Edmonton to Yellowknife, we went to the family viewing. My dad walked up to her casket, and he looked down at her. And when he saw her lifeless body, he said, "That's not my baby. That's not my baby." Later on that day, me and my mom went back to the funeral home to dress my sister in my granny's dress. The funeral director also told me that we could do her hair and makeup. Now, because we had girls' nights together all the time when I was growing up, I knew that this was something I had to do for her one last time. That evening, at the wake, my dad walked up to my sister's casket again, and he looked down. But this time, he said, "That's my baby." I knew then that it was time to bring light out of this darkness, time to become the role model that my niece and nephew desperately needed. So I started applying to different conferences and events, and I remember getting my first acceptance letter to an initiative called Daughters of the Vote. I was shocked that these people who knew my history and what I had been through still took a chance on me. Because of that small act of kindness, I continued to apply to things. And over the next couple of years, I was elected the National Youth Representative of the Native Women's Association of Canada. I had the honor of attending the We Matter Hope Forum in Ottawa, and most recently, living in Colombia, South America, on an Indigenous youth internship. But most importantly is the honor of being here with you all today. If you feel hopeless and stuck and like your life has no purpose, know that it does, and that you don't have to be anybody to be somebody. Thank you.